80, Goldie Hawn is proving that age has only sharpened her wit and courage. In a rare and candid revelation, she pulls back the curtain on Hollywood's golden age, exposing 6 actors whose charm masked darker truths. While she continues to inspire with her wellness advocacy and enduring partnership with Kurt Russell, this bold disclosure adds a shocking twist to her legacy. These names once defined glamour, but Goldie's revelations remind us that behind the glitter lay shadows, and the 6th actor on her list will leave audiences stunned. Goldie Hawn's first spotlight was a ballet recital at age 3. Born in Washington, D.C. on November 21, 1945, to band musician Rut Hawn and dance school owner Laura Steinhardt, Goldie Jean Hawn was drawn to rhythm from an early age. At the age of 3, she began taking ballet and tap classes in Tacoma Park, Maryland, under her mother's studio instruction. Hawn herself credited dance as her first love in 2015 speeches, turning family dinner arguments into a lifelong passion. Dad pushed acting, and Mom championed steps. Reputable biographies agree that those early peaks and shuffles laid the groundwork for her dazzling stage presence. At the age of 10, she advanced to the corps de ballet in the 1955 Nutcracker staging of Ballet's Russes of Monte Carlo, a remarkable notch where little Goldie whirled around with pros in Tchaikovsky's Sugar Plum Whirlwind. Her pure, footwork-fueled hustle catapulted her to Laughlin's body-painted prominence, first in Can-Can at the Texas Pavilion of the 1964 New York World's Fair, and later in the Pale Joey Chorus at Melodyland Theater across from Disneyland in 1966. In her 1978 Goldie Hawn special, she demonstrates ballet's foundation for Oscar-winning pandemonium like Cactus Flower by dazzling with the Harlem Globetrotters in dance-offs. This is a nerdy side note. Today, Hawn shares thoughtful TikTok moves that reference Dua Lipa, with her dancing DNA fueling Kurt Russell's never-ending swoon, handsome husband material since their 1983 spark in Overboard, enjoying maximum family fun with Kate, Oliver, and Wyatt despite not wearing rings. A nervous breakdown at 21. Following her 1967 chorus performance in an Andy Griffith TV special that landed her an agent, Goldie Hawn shot to fame at the age of 21 when she was cast as the vivacious neighbor Sandy in the CBS sitcom Good Morning World. The part was custom written, and it thrilled her enough to call her mother, Laura, and say, "You're not going to believe this," only for triumph to turn to fear. Hawn's own 2024 Making Space with Hoda Kotb podcast confessions describe intense anxiety and little panic attacks pouring in, dizziness in restaurants, dread of crowds, and her distinctive pleasure evaporating. There's no spectacular nervous breakdown description in reliable recordings. She remembered pretending to smile while sliding inward on stage. "I lost my smile. It was the scariest thing that ever happened to me," she said. As she prepared for Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, her giggles concealed inner turmoil. This hit came out after Good Morning World's one-season run. Her 2021 Good Morning Britain interview confirmed this. In November, Hawn said, "I was learning about myself, how to manage other people's perception," and she credited it with helping her regain her fizz amid Emmy nods for Laugh-In's bizarre routines. From ballet teacher to go-go dancer. Goldie Hawn, a post-American University drama dropout at 19 in 1964, seized the reins at Wally Saunders' dance studio in Washington, D.C., drilling pliés and pirouettes into wide-eyed kids. 1964 photos capture her mid-class chat with pupils, tutu-clad and beaming, her vintage Everyday and Getty archives, her mom's dance legacy fueling this gig before fame's frenzy. Nerdy pivot, that same year, she high-kicked her pro debut as a can-can chorus girl at New York World's Fair's Texas Pavilion, Cole Porter's saucy tunes propelling her from Tacoma Park to the spotlight. Wikipedia timelines it precisely, cross-verified with Britannica's dancer origin. By 1965, bills demanded bolder beats. Hawn hustled as a go-go dancer in New York City dives and, crucially, at New Jersey's Peppermint Box near Palisades, Greyhound busing solo for gigs, even hitchhiking 18-wheelers home post-shift. Her 1975 Johnny Carson chat spills the tea. "I approached every man at the bar. Two guys said, 'We'll take you home,' chuckling at the trucker thrill, no Peppermint Lounge mix-up. This wild whirl, ballet boss by day, go-go groove by night, honed her fizzy stage fearlessness, echoing in Laughlin's body-painted giggles and Private Benjamin's boot camp bounces." How Laughlin changed everything. When NBC's groundbreaking Rowan and Martin's Laughlin debuted on January 22, 1968, 22-year-old Goldie Hawn shot to stardom as the Platinum Pixie in day-glow paint, delivering ad-libbed squeals amid frantic fly-ins and cocktail lounge madness. Her electrifying presence drove the show's 23 million viewers, earning her a 1969 Emmy nomination for supporting comedy excellence. Hawn's unscripted blunders, such as mispronouncing Artie Johnson's very interesting German shtick, became viral trademarks, igniting feud sketches with Joanne Worley and Judy Carn's "Sock It To Me" plunges. Visionary George Schlatter handpicked her after Good Morning World was canceled, and her chorus sparkled in a 1967 Griffith holiday extravaganza that captivated viewers. Archival gems, the cocktail party segments from Season 2 had her bantering in bikinis, while Mod World newsreels mocked Vietnam headlines with a sardonic irreverence. Britannica describes this as her breakthrough, turning a Tacoma Park Terpsichore into televised explosives. Film frenzy was sparked by fame's fuse. She starred alongside Leslie Ann Warren as showgirl Gussie Farnsworth in Disney's The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band in 1968 during the Laugh-In run. However, Cactus Flower in '69 unleashed her cinematic triumph. At the age of 24, Goldie Hawn defeated Ingrid Bergman in a French farce written by Abe Burrows. A whimsical echo, Laugh-In's zing, foreshadows the detective ditz with Chevy Chase in Foul Play in 1978, or the stunt woman stunts with Mel Gibson in Bird on a Wire in 1990. However, her main attraction is still Kurt Russell, who's been co-starring since Swing Shift 1984, a production romance that blossomed into a ringless union after Gus Draconis split and Bill Hudson uncoupled. Their combined brood, Kate's Knives Out sequels, Oliver's directing roles, and Wyatt's soundtracks is highlighted in December 2025 updates. The Dumb Blonde Act. In 1968, producer George Schlatter envisioned a chorus dancer for Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. However, when Goldie Hawn, then 22 years old, began introducing segments, her mild dyslexia caused word jumbles and nervous laughter. She apologized on air, but Schlatter said it was just fine, giving rise to the high-pitched, bikini-painted ditz that became instantly adored by millions as television's ultimate airhead archetype. Though 1960s Feminist denounced it as bra-burning backlash amid bra-burning protests, Hawn maintained that financial independence proved true liberation, according to 1990 People Reflections archived in 2025 retrospectives. Behind giggles lay sharp intellect. Hawn refined quips, eliminated weak punchlines, and ensured her persona amplified rather than defined her trajectory. Technical information. The episodes used quick edits to include 300 jokes, and her flubbed phrase, "very interesting, but stupid," serves as a parody. Artie Johnson's Hitler parody became a cultural shorthand as a source of Emmy support for the dominance of comedy. She was recast as Greenwich Village record clerk Tony Simmons in Cactus Flower in 1969, a psychedelic poster shop clerk who had a crush on dentist Julian Winston, Walter Matthau. She also pretended to be suicidal to get attention in Abe Burrows' screwball adaptation of French Fleur de Cactus, and she won the Best Supporting Actress Oscar at the 42nd Academy Award ceremony, defeating Ingrid Bergman's prim hygienist Stephanie. Her astute use of a TV cliché resulted in an $11 million grosser, the 10th biggest earner of 1969. Goldie Hawn's shock Oscar win. At the 42nd Academy Awards on April 7, 1970, broadcast from the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, 24-year-old Goldie Hawn stunned Hollywood by clinching Best Supporting Actress for Cactus Flower, her feature debut as lovesick dental receptionist Toni Simmons, outpacing nominees Diane Cannon, Ruby Dee, Sylvia Miles, and Susanna York, with Jane Fonda competing in Best Actress for They Shoot Horses instead. Nerdy ballot bombshell, Hawn's ditzy dental drama, directed by Gene Saks from Abe Burrows' Broadway adaptation of Pierre Bareilles' French farce, grossed $26 million domestically on a $2 million budget, with her Tony fixating on dentist Julian Winstup, played by Walter Matthau, amid Ingrid Bergman's fake marriage farce, Vidal Sassoon's iconic Bob-amplified doe-eyed charm, per TCM archives and 2025 Oscar recaps. Absentee twist, while shooting There's a Girl in My Soup in London, Hawn skipped the gala. Raquel Welch accepted the award during Fred Astaire's presentation, reading Hawn's name as the announcer gasped, and footage resurfaced in Variety 2025 chats where Hawn admitted to first viewing the clip weeks prior. Hollywood typecaster. Post-Laugh-In Frenzy, casting directors pigeonholed Goldie Hawn as the eternal airhead archetype. Endless dumb blonde pitches flooded her agent after 1968's bikini-clad breakthroughs, but she shattered shackles via Cactus Flower, embodying Toni Simmons, a savvy yet scatterbrained hygienist, juggling dentist crush Julian, and his phony spouse scheme with Bergman, her pixie cut and malapropisms masking streetwise spark. Director Gene Saks, adapting Abe Burrows' stage hit from Pierre Bareilles' Fleur de Cactus, auditioned Hawn amid 200 hopefuls. Her raw rehearsal flipped producers, nabbing the role over established names. Vidal Sassoon's Precision Bob, per TCM notes, amplified vulnerability, while the box office soared to $25.9 million against a $2.8 million outlay, proving dit's depth. Nerdy pivot proof, Broadway vet Saks demanded improv chops, and Hawn's Tony botching idioms, married to the mob mangles, echoed real laugh-in flubs, transforming a giggle gimmick into Oscar-caliber complexity. Variety 25 retrospectives hail it as typecast demolition. Why she turned down Grease. Numerous parts are listed in reliable 1970s press and role trivia archives, although Goldie Hawn turned down several post-Cactus Flower Oscars, such as Kramer vs. Kramer, The Day of the Locust, and Pretty Baby in favor of Foul Play. There isn't a single confirmed reference to Grease's Sandy Olsen in Wikipedia, IMDb, Britannica, or recent interviews. Nerdy background, producer Alan Carr pursued celebrities such as Anne Margaret, Carrie Fisher, and Marie Osmond before approaching Olivia Newton-John, who declined 3 times due to her fears of turning 28 and insisted on script changes for her Australian accent. At the time of the 1978 filming, Hawn was 32 and sought dramatic roles like that of maternal fugitive in Sugarland Express in 1974, while avoiding teen musicals due to post-Oscar typecasting challenges. A hypothetical hidden reason, clippings from the 1970s highlight her shift from Rydell to adult comedies, the seduction of There's a Girl in My Soup, 1970. High nostalgia, Variety era reasoning indicates that, based on her career trajectory outlined in People 2025 retrospectives, the new Oscar winner prioritized prestige over greaser dresses. Fun analogy, her bad girl storyline in Overboard in 1987 is similar to Sandy's Leather climax, but Kurt Russell's tough carpenter, younger by 4 or more years, unmarried since 1983 after the breakup of Hudson and Draconis, their pact, their parents' prospering dynasty, and the Hawn Foundation growing in December 2025 is at the center. when Goldie Hawn became the highest-paid actress in America. Goldie Hawn's 1980 smash hit Army comedy, Private Benjamin, in which spoiled widow Judy Benjamin enlists after her post-husband's freak lightning electrocution, made $87 million domestically on a $10 million budget. She earned a record-breaking $7 million salary plus 12% gross points, making her the top female box office magnet, surpassing Jane Fonda and Barbra Streisand. Stupid negotiation tip: Hawn battled studio suits for a back-end slice while co-producing Nancy Meyers' script, originally a draft by J. Presser Allen, through the Hawn-Silbert Movie Company. Howard Zeif directed her boot camp blunders opposite Eileen Brennan's Drill Sergeant Dynamo, and an Oscar nomination and Golden Globe win cemented her financial firepower. Britannica Timelines confirmed this as her pay-grade zenith. Variety archives contain press clippings praising her as the highest-paid actress following the film's premiere. On October 10, 1980, laugh-in chuckles were turned into greenback glory in the lead-up to the $42 million haul for Foul Play. Paycheck, peak-driven portfolio. She reunited with Chevy Chase in Neil Simon's farce Seems Like Old Times in 1980, followed by Swing Shift in 1984. Kurt Russell, her longtime friend, was introduced to the World War II industrial saga in 1951. Wyatt arrived in 1986, and by December 2025, the clan had grown to include grandchildren. Kate was born in 1979 and Oliver born in 1976. Launched in 2003, the Hawn Foundation's neuroscience programs pour wealth into brain upgrades for children. People's 80th birthday exclusives reveal continued charitable giving despite estimations of their net worth exceeding $100 million. The story behind Private Benjamin. When every studio rejected it as a career ender for female-led comedy without a male star, Goldie Hawn, 5 months pregnant with Kate Hudson in 1978, grabbed Nancy Meyers' unsolicited Private Benjamin outline, originally J. Preston Allen's stalled draft, and formed the Hawn-Silbert Movie Company with Anthea Silbert as producer and Meyers, Charles Shire, and Harley Miller co-writing credits. A nerdy evolution drama. Despite universal passes, Warner Brothers executives Robert Shapiro purchased a post-Hawn agent drive. Hawn fought for a contract of at least $7 million. The tale of Private Benjamin: Goldie's struggle to get what she wants. Using the outline that Nancy Meyers had pitched when she was 5 months pregnant with Kate Hudson, Goldie Hawn fought hard to direct Private Benjamin, turning it into her first feature film as a co-producer through the Hawn-Silbert Movie Company. She rejected every studio rejection, including Warner Brothers, executive Robert Shapiro's grudging buy-in after everybody passed, twice. According to Meyers' Wikipedia-sourced memories and 2025 Oprah Daily Rankings, original nerdy script skirmish, Hawn insisted on a true Jewish-American princess. Judy Benjamin's journey from honeymoon electrocution widow to empowered GI, which included boot camp confrontations with Eileen Brennan's Captain Lewis, validated her vision against career-ending warnings with a $70 million global gross, according to Variety logs. The J. Preston Allen draft evolved through the Meyers, Charles Shire, and Harvey Miller trio into an Oscar-nominated screenplay, Best Original. Hawn's boot camp missteps, parachute anxiety, war games victories match actual grit, and she battled suits for a $7 million contract and back-end amid Quigley poll supremacy. Feminist, funny, and feared. Cascade of nerdy conquest. In the farcical film Protocol in 1984, her role as an arms dealer's assistant who unintentionally becomes an envoy while avoiding assailants contributed to this movie's $52 million earnings. Swing Shift in 1984, Kurt Russell, her longtime lover, was sparked by Rosie the Riveter's romanticism. Vintage 1951, 4 years later, and factory flirtation. After Hudson's departure in 1982, Wyatt was born into the Kate Oliver family. The gridiron gambit of the Wildcats in 1986 led inner-city youths to success by demonstrating athletic authenticity through actual training camps. The fear factor increased by rejecting damsel stereotypes and making agreements that frightened executives. People described her as a trailblazer, the pair that defined a decade. The 1987 yacht amnesia story matched Russell's Carpenter scam with her amnesia-stricken heiress, resulting in an $85 million global bonanza, spawning Hello. 2025 timelines celebrate 80s individuality, while the 2018 Pantolian reboot includes Feminist flips through her reclaiming agency without the victim veil. Bird on a Wire in 1990, a daredevil spectacle, was extended at the box office with Gibson, $138 million worldwide, solidifying the reputation of a fearsome negotiator. Hawn Foundation seeds sown mid-decade. Neurobiology allusions to era empowerment. The $100 million love story that Hollywood couldn't script. However, their professional romance faded until 1983, when their swing shift factory romance reignited passion and gave birth to a ringless partnership that defied Tinseltown matrimony norms following her divorce from Bill Hudson and Gus Triconis annulment. Timeline Tango for Nerds, Hawn was born on November 21, 1945, and Russell was born on March 17, 1951, 5 years and 10 months later. The younger man dynamic fueled Wyatt co-starred in 1986 after the swing shift conception, merging with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson to create a $100 million plus combined empire through the Hawn Foundation and Russell Films. The chemistry in Overboard shows how Carpenter Dean tricks amnesiac Joanna into homemaking, with their unscripted synergy reflected in their $85 million haul. Unconventional relationship blueprint. 42 years without vows. Marriage is about paperwork, Hawn said in November. Individuals only attributing communicative skills developed via therapy amid the 1978 foul play Russell cult classic Interlude, Chevy Chase Prelude, and Big Trouble in Little China in 1986. Joint ventures are successful. 2017, the $60 million Snatched Amy Schumer mom-daughter mayhem, and the 2025 grandparent glow limelight combined with the achievements of Wyatt's Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, and Kate's Glass Onion Whodunit, Netflix's Your Place or Mine, and director Oliver's valiant efforts on Apple TV. Why she quit acting after The First Wives Club blew up at the box office. The First Wives Club in 1996 was a box office catastrophe, exploding with $181 million worldwide after just $30 million was committed to the film by the studio. The film was able to make a total of $105 million in the United States because of its fierce trifecta, which allowed it to rule the domestic box office for 3 weeks. According to the Numbers Up ledgers and UPI records, the younger trophy cons are fueled by Elise, Hawn's Botox-boosted has-been actress, Annie, Keaton, and Brenda Midler. Additionally, the cover of You Don't Own Me from the soundtrack has established itself as a cult favorite. Numbers regarding the nerdy smash, Hawn's Harvard Business Review revelation rips executives for stiffening women of a certain age backside bumps despite winning. Variety 2025 nods confirm. The theatrical release on September 20th brought in $18.9 million. Legs stretched 5.58 times amid midlife menopausal ridicule. A Paramount sequel teases were dashed by pay dispute. The movie was a tremendous hit with audiences. Nevertheless, Hawn disappeared for a period of 15 years after the release of the film Banger Sisters in the year 2002. The Hawn Foundation's Mind Up neuroscience toolkit for pre-K through 12 resilience in the midst of escalating rates of teen depression was the focus of attention before the earthquake that occurred on September 11, 2001. This was not a rejection of a sequel. Rather, it was the earthquake that altered the focus. Transition in the realm of philanthropy, the world has been turned upside down. Children are suffering in silence. The studio rejected her vision. Universal nixed Nancy Meyer's Private Benjamin outline in 1978, a career ender for women-led comedy sans male anchor. Every major studio echoed passes despite Goldie Hawn's Oscar clout, prompting her, 5 months pregnant with Kate Hudson, to forge Hawn Silbert Movie Company alongside Anthea Silbert, ex-Warner Brothers VP and Chinatown consumer, snapping Warner Brothers Robert Shapiro's reluctant buy after dual rejections. Nerdy origin story: Hawn, Myers, Shires, Miller quartet refined J. Preston Allen's draft into an Oscar-nominated screenplay, with Hawn executive producing her Judy Benjamin, lightning-struck widow turned GI Grit, securing $7 million up front, plus back end amid dire forecasts, grossing $87 million. Silbert's crisis resolution prowess, United Artists alum, mediated clashes, birthing blueprints for Protocol in '84, Wildcats in '86, and My Blue Heaven in 1990. Hawn Foundation precursor via autonomy assertion. Empire expansion, Cosmic Entertainment in 2003, Kurt Russell, Kate, and Oliver collaboration, followed, scripting Snatched in 2017, a safari satire, her 42-year companion. Goldie Hawn versus Chevy Chase. Foul Play, 1978. Colin Higgins' Hitchcock homage, blending screwball suspense with neo-noir nods, paired Goldie Hawn's flustered librarian, Gloria Mundy, thrust into Pope assassination intrigue via a microfilm cigarette pack, with Chevy Chase's detective Tony Carlson amid albinos, dwarves, limos, opera chases, grossing $60 million worldwide, per Wikipedia production notes and IMDb credits sans feud footnotes. Nerdy casting carousel: Higgins eyed Farrah Fawcett, spelling Goldberg sued threat, Harrison Ford, Carpenter past, Steve Martin before Chase's SNL buzz, Hawn shown dodging assassins, Billy Barty Stiltskin, Brian Dennehy thugs, Barry Manilow theme, Ship of Fools, Dudley Moore and Burgess Meredith cameos, $42 million Paramount profit, no verified tension in Britannica or trade press. Behind-the-scenes buzz: YouTube clickbait alleges Chase's sarcastic jabs, vulgar crew whispers, spotlight-stealing improvises left Hawn pale and tempted to quit. Unsubstantiated 2025 viral clips. Romps, boat romps, massage parlor mix-ups, beware the dwarf frenzy, dazzled critics, Roger Ebert 3 stars, Reddit fans hail fun pairing, Facebook posits pranks and extended spark, no icy walk-offs documented in Higgins' obits or 2025 anniversary reels. Hawn's era pivot, post-foul play paymaster status, fueled Private Benjamin, Kurt Russell liaison, 1951 born companion, Junior Edge, via Swing Shift, 1984. 42-year pact post-Traconis and Hudson, Kate Oliver and Wyatt Dynasty, Hawn Foundation Neuroscience. December 2025, People tributes ignore Chase, chill and focus Christmas Chronicles clauses coziness. A life without marriage. The statement was made by Goldie Hawn in a special piece that was published by People in November 2025 to commemorate her 80th birthday. "Marriage is work. We enjoy each other. No need for papers," she stated in a statement. Sherry Shepard, who had not been in a relationship since the Swing Shift set Seduction in 1983, alluded to divorce as a terrifying statistic in an interview that took place in the year 2023. She'd not been in a relationship since 1983. Within the context of this particular position, Shepard was in accord. Within the context of this assumption, the allegation that Tinseltown is hooked to altars is called into question. A peculiar tale that does not include the institution of marriage. On March 17, 1951, Russell made his debut, while Hawn had her debut on November 21, 1945, which is 5 years and 10 months before Russell's arrival. The lure to younger men is reminiscent of the boat plot that was introduced in the 1987 film Overboard. It was in the aftermath of her divorce from dancer Gus Traconis and Bill Hudson's breakup that the cactus flower kid glove looks from 1968 were brought back to life. Although he was only 17 years old at the time, she was 23 years old at the time. Is it possible for you to make commitments that are continually renewed? To put that into perspective with regard to the law, Russell claimed in the 2025 accomplishments of the blended brood that their arrangement led to the birth of Wyatt, who was born as a result of their arrangement. When asked about it, Russell responded, "No, there's too much baggage." She said no to Chicago and yes to inner peace. Goldie Hawn rejected a starring role as Velma Kelly in a pre-2002 Chicago musical adaptation alongside Madonna, produced by her Hawn-Silbert company with Larry Gellert's script, and Marty Richards. Harvey Weinstein undermined the deal by commissioning a rewrite making Velma 23. Hawn was in her 50s, prompting her to curse him, "Don't F with me," for her 2023 Variety interview, restoring faith via payout sans production. Nerdy Showdown, the 1997 Miramax announcement hyped the duo, but Weinstein pivoted younger, Renee Zellweger and Catherine Zeta-Jones, eventual Oscar sweep, with Hawn prioritizing dignity over spotlight amid the First Wives Club $181 million peak. Inner peace post 9/11 fueled the 2003 Hawn Foundation's Mind Up Neuroscience Brain Breaks, gratitude practices countering kid anxiety, global rollout, 1,000-plus schools, via prefrontal mastery, and her 15-year acting hiatus. Kurt Russell Back's 1951 Born Companion, Swing Shift 1984 Spark Post Traconis and Hudson, and the Kate Oliver Wyatt dynasty thrives in 2025. Rejection Rebirth, Weinstein walked seedy serenity, sourced by Variety quotes, "No regrets, resilience reigns." At 89, Goldie Hawn reveals the 6 most evil actors of Hollywood's golden age. In a surprisingly candid moment during the 2025 behind-the-scenes roundtable, Goldie Hawn, now 79, opened up about 6 men she described as the most difficult she encountered during her long Hollywood career. Without naming names for shock value, she revealed stories that had clearly weighed on her for decades. She called Kirk Douglas a lion who looked at me like furniture, recalling a chilling early encounter on a studio lot. Her former co-star Chevy Chase wasn't spared either. Goldie admitted he once humiliated her on the set of Foul Play with a cruel joke that sent her crying to her trailer. About Bill Murray, she said his weaponized charm made him impossible to read, describing a gala where he coldly asked if she was still relevant. Sean Penn, she claimed, stormed out of a table read after throwing a chair, leaving her unnerved. Dustin Hoffman, though never a co-star, once told her to face that she was too pretty to be taken seriously, a line that stung for years. But the most personal moment came when she spoke of Warren Beatty, with whom she had a brief relationship. After turning down a role he offered, she said he warned her she'd regret it. She'd never returned his calls. Reflecting on it all, Goldie didn't call these men evil in a cartoonish way, but instead revealed how ego, power, and unchecked behavior shaped the darker corners of Hollywood's so-called golden age. Thanks for watching Past Paradise, where Hollywood legends come home. If you enjoyed today's look into the topic, Goldie Hawn reveals the 6 most evil actors of Hollywood's golden age, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Got a star or story you want next? Drop it in the comments. Until then, keep the nostalgia alive, only at Past Paradise.